Here is the story of Maya, a talented young woman who nearly lost herself trying to become someone else. In a world where artificial intelligence creates impossible standards of beauty, Maya's journey reveals a profound truth. We were never meant to compete with pixels. This is her story of finding authentic worth in our Creator's image. Maya had been staring at her reflection for 20 minutes, whispering to herself about adjusting the brightness just one more time. But it wasn't her face she saw anymore. It was every imperfection that kept her from looking like the AI-generated models flooding her feed. With a defeated sigh, she wondered why she couldn't just look right. As a freelance designer, Maya knew the power of digital perfection. She muttered to herself while editing, "Sharper jawline, bigger eyes, smoother skin. There, perfect." She could airbrush away every flaw, sculpt every curve, brighten every shadow. But the harder she worked to match the algorithmic ideal, the more her real face felt like a mistake that needed fixing. Even as her savings dwindled, Maya convinced herself that just one more app subscription would finally give her the perfect filter she needed. The breaking point came when Maya lost her biggest client of the year. "You're talented," they said, "but you don't have the right aesthetic for our brand." Sobbing in her car afterward, she couldn't understand what that even meant. Maya began avoiding social gatherings entirely. When her roommate begged her to come to the birthday party through her bedroom door, Maya insisted she didn't look good enough for photos. Maybe next time. Desperation drove Maya to call cosmetic surgery clinics, asking how much it would cost for everything. She emptied her savings account, chasing digital perfection. 3 weeks later, she couldn't afford rent and found herself making a panicked call to her parents, asking if she could come home. Rock bottom looked like moving back into her childhood bedroom at 28. Maya stared at an old family photo, touching her genuinely smiling face and wondering when she had stopped looking that happy. Her grandmother found her there, gently holding Maya's tear-stained face with weathered hands. "Child," she whispered, "you're trying to fix what God called very good." When Maya protested that she wasn't pretty enough or perfect enough, her grandmother asked who had told her that. Some computer? Some stranger on the internet? "You weren't made to compete with pixels, baby," she said softly. "You were made to reflect purpose." That night, Maya read Genesis 1:27 for the first time in years. So, God created mankind in His own image. The words hit like lightning. She whispered the phrase back to herself. In His own image. Very good. She wasn't a rough draft waiting for digital correction. She was an original masterpiece. The realization dawned on her. She had been trying to edit God's work. With shaking hands, Maya began deleting the apps that had consumed her life. "Goodbye, Facetune," she whispered hesitantly, but with determination. "Goodbye. Perfect 365. Goodbye, lies." Her first unfiltered photo in years came with a caption she typed with trembling fingers. "This is me, actually me, and I'm learning that's enough." The post got half her usual likes, but 3 genuine comments from friends who said they'd missed seeing her real smile. One friend wrote, "There's our Maya. You look so happy and real." Maya's approach to design transformed completely. She began telling potential clients that she specialized in authentic storytelling, real people, real stories, real beauty. Designing became an act of worship, creating work that celebrated human authenticity over artificial perfection. Working late into the night, she found herself content, reflecting on how every wrinkle tells a story and every imperfection has purpose. Maya discovered that her perceived flaws were actually the fingerprints of her creator. 6 months later, Maya sat confidently in client meetings, no filters needed, sharing her simple philosophy. God doesn't make mistakes, and neither should our designs pretend He does. Clients began seeking her out specifically for this authenticity. Maya started teaching workshops, telling attendees they were fearfully and wonderfully made, and their work should reflect that truth, not hide from it. Her business had doubled, not because she looked like everyone else, but because she looked like herself. Standing before her mirror one morning, with no phone in sight and no filters needed, Maya smiled at her reflection and whispered, "Hello, beautiful, created and called just as I am." In a world drowning in artificial perfection, her authenticity had become her greatest asset. She'd learned the most revolutionary truth of all. She was fearfully and wonderfully made, pixel perfect in her Creator's eyes.